Hey friends, welcome back to Trendy DIY 29. I am back with another video. Sorry guys, it's been a while, but I've started my plants for the season. I was about 6 to 8 weeks late, but I am not tripping. Let me move my little book. Isn't this so cute, guys? I found this. It says grow your own way, and look. I have all my little plants I started. It has pockets in it and everything. I think it's so cute. And there's a clipboard on the top. So I will be using that for my plant sale. But I want to go over with the seeds, you guys, that I started. I started them indoors. I believe I started all of these plants on March 28th, I believe. So yes, I am so late because if you look at my other videos, a lot of times I start around like February, January even sometimes. But starting early is not always good because I've had sometimes have to up pot 2 and 3 times because it's entirely too early. So do keep that in mind. I'm going to try to go no real particular order, but I'm going to try to keep peppers with peppers and tomatoes with tomatoes. All right, guys. So the first thing that is on the list this year that I'm really excited about are these onions. I've never successfully grown onions, but I have these are the red beard bunching. I absolutely love these onions. Let me zoom in for you guys a little bit. But the red beard bunching onion, they're beautiful. I've been trying to grow them, and I'm very successful with growing, the green onion. So I figured I was going to try these again this year, and they did sprout. So the red beard bunching onion. Now, right now, none of these have sprouted yet, but the Bianca Maggio onion, I love the fact that they're flat, they're not too big, and I feel like they won't take up too much space in the garden. So I'm definitely hoping that these will sprout. But the onions, I don't even have that many of the bunching ones, but the seeds are kind of old. Certain vegetable seeds, guys, last longer than others. Normally, expiration date on them really doesn't mean anything, but like carrot seeds don't last that long. I've found onion seeds tend not to last that long, and certain herbs and stuff. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the herbs I'm gonna be planting. Of course, I'm planting my lovely lettuce leaf basil. It's beautiful. And I love the fact that these leaves can get big. If you like feed it with a lot of nitrogen, you can get leaves that are big enough that you can make like chicken wraps and use it in place of a tortilla, or if you want to go low carb. So I really do like these. So the lettuce leaf basil. I'm growing the lemon balm. My lemon balm last year did not, when I moved and everything, it did not transfer well. And I feel like that it died because it was either underwatered or overwatered. Something happened because lemon balm normally is a perennial in my area. So it should have came back every year. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But lemon balm, definitely looking forward to using this to make a tea blend. I've heard of like using basil in tea. I've never tried that. So maybe do a blend of basil and lemon balm and see what happens, or the lemon balm and some peppermint. So lemon balm, really excited for this because that's good. You can put that in your bath water. You can boil it on the stove, as a natural air freshener for your home. You can put it in a spray bottle and, clean countertops and stuff with it. So lemon balm is really good. Freeze it in ice trays and put it in iced tea. Like I could just keep going on and on. So I'm excited about that. This I am super, super excited about, but so far I don't see any action. Now, I haven't really, super checked. I see stuff growing, but I haven't lifted everything out because I wrote on the side of my containers. I wrote exactly what plant it was, but I wrote it on tape on the side. So there's not like it's something sticking out. So I have to physically lift them up and read the tape, which I haven't done. So as of the last time that I did that, the stevia did not grow. And these are brand new seeds I just opened this year. But I am hoping to get a natural sweetener because everybody knows stevia is technically, it's sweeter than sugar. It's sweeter than honey. And it's actually, you know, an annual in most areas. It grows very well. I've even heard that you can grow it in a windowsill. I'm not big on growing. I feel like if you're going to grow indoors, get a heat lamp, get you some grow lights. Like if you're going to do it big, because you're not going to want to take all this time taking care of these plants and then getting a bad harvest because it struggled for light, it struggled for heat. So next is going to be the flat leaf parsley. And the funny thing is, this was in my, because I have like a box that I kept the seeds that I already planted, and then a box of the seeds that I wanted to direct sow. And for some reason, I do not remember planting this, so I need to definitely check that. But parsley, my favorite, chamomile, absolutely beautiful. And the one thing I found is chamomile, it really germinated really, really quickly this year. Because this year I have a lot of heat mats, and also the location of where my grow station is versus my old home, it doesn't get hit with as much cold air. So I was very surprised with the amount of germination, which I will show you guys later on in the video. Very excited about garlic chives. I've grown regular chives, but garlic chives, I use garlic literally in everything. So why not grow garlic chive? That's how I looked at it. Now I'm going to go over the flowers. There's only 2 varieties that I've actually planted so far, but I do plan on starting some more flowers. I'm just not sure. Maybe something that's going to grow pretty fast. But the fun thing is one of the flowers that I'm starting, which is the beautiful early bird zinnias. As you can see, there's multiple colors in there. So I thought I could get away with not planting too many different varieties because I wanted something that was not going to get too tall, something that was not going to go too crazy. But I wanted to have some color in the garden because especially waiting on those big indeterminate tomatoes to come in and waiting on some of your longer producing crops to produce, it's nice to have a little bit of color. So I wanted to make sure that at least I'd have some pops of color with flowers. And as you guys can see, this grows in 35 days. And I am hoping and praying that I get all of these colors because last year, I believe I grew some of these and I literally feel like I only got pink, maybe a few blushes, but it was all on like a pink spectrum. So I would love to get those reds and that purple. Next flower is the Naughty Marietta Marigold, guys. If that is not beautiful, I do not know what is. And they say it can grow in a 12-inch pot. So I know that this is not going to get that tall. Let me see how tall this is going to get. Okay, so you're saying this is going to get no taller than 8 to 12 inches. So this would be something perfect, guys, if you want to add a little pop of color to your raised beds. I have like the cedar wooden planters that sit up off the ground so you can stand in garden, which I love. These I plan on tucking maybe 1 or 2 in the corner of that for some extra color. And also marigolds are very good to deter pests. But I also know that a lot of insects, bees, they love certain colors, and yellow and orange is one of them. So I'm hoping that this will help to draw the eye of the insects to come to my garden to help pollinate. And that was a 45-day variety, by the way. Next up, I'm going to do my lettuces and my brassica family plants all together, guys. So it wouldn't be my garden, of course, guys, you know, if I didn't have Ruby Red Swiss chard. If you are a new gardener and you feel like it's overwhelming to learn all of this stuff, buy you a pack of Swiss chard seeds. I always say don't get the rainbow. You end up planting too many. You end up getting a lot of the same color. I would always recommend get individual packs of different colors so that you can control the mixture. It always works better that way. But this plant is indestructible. It is frost tolerant, is okay in the heat. Even if you miss it watering it for a little bit, it'll pop right back as soon as you give you water. You can it can snow on it and you just take the snow off. It'll still be fine. This plant is indestructible. This will be the last thing growing in your garden after you said, I'm done. I'm done. You will still have this. So If you are a new gardener, definitely, I would recommend Swiss chard. Now, it does have a very earthy taste. Some people say it tastes like dirt. I believe, to me, it tastes more earthy and minerally the bigger that it gets. So I feel like the flavor is a lot lighter when it's smaller. So keep that in mind. But I don't mind that taste. Favorite lettuce of all time, sandy lettuce. It really reminds me of an oak leaf lettuce. I actually believe that this possibly is an oak leaf lettuce. I've mentioned before in different videos that I've had that a lot of companies will have basically the same variety and they name it different names. But this actually grows like a very sturdy type of upright type of lettuce, like how romaine grows, but it's not very tight. It's not a tight head. But I love it to pick these for mixing to make like a gourmet blend salad. These hold dressing very well and they don't wilt very easily. So it's a very sturdy type of lettuce that holds up to a heavy dressing or vinaigrette with a lot of acid in it. Been trying to grow these guys. Now, this is the issue. Take it from me. Take it from my mistakes that I did last year. I literally wasted so many seeds because I tried to seed my lettuces, especially this beautiful Marvel of Four Seasons, in my green stalk. Now, if you read green stalk instructions, and if you read the inside of the freaking green stalk container, please listen to them. Fill it all the way up to the end. Don't try to save a little bit of soil and save a little bit of money. You need to fill it all the way to the freaking brim. Because what happened was my lettuce needs light to germinate. And so my lettuce seed was sitting so far down in the pocket that when I would water it and everything, it would just get washed away into the dirt. It never got sunlight. So they basically just rotted in the ground. So I planted it over and over and over again, thinking, oh, it's not getting enough water. It's not doing. No, it wasn't getting any sunlight because you didn't have the dirt filled up enough. So if you're going to direct sow into your green stalk, make sure it is filled to capacity. Okay. So, but the Marvel of Four Seasons is beautiful. And this is another thing that you can tuck in between your tomato plants. This probably would look really good next to your cherry tomatoes, so you can quickly build a salad. Maybe add a Space Master cucumber all in the same bed and have like a salad garden, which would be nice. I don't want this video to get too long, guys. So next up, Black Seeded Simpson. I have not seen this sprouted yet, but like I said, I haven't really picked up everything to see what it was. But these seeds are very old, so they may or may not be viable. But Black Seeded Simpson is one of my all-time favorite lettuces. It's one of the very first lettuces I've ever grown. And this also has a very nice texture of leaf. And as you guys can see, it's really crinkly, so it really holds dressing well too. I love lettuces that aren't too flimsy because I don't like my salad to get soggy. Now for the cabbages, I'm growing, this is your Copenhagen early market cabbage. And they're saying that it has compact heads and it has a classic cabbage flavor. And it's really good for almost any use, from salad to coleslaw to sauerkraut to cooked dishes. But I'm basically growing this one because it's supposed to be small, like a smaller variety. And they say 65 to 80 days. So I'm playing around with this stuff, guys, with certain brassicas. I'm going to probably, not sure, but I just want to get them in the ground and then they'll be all right. Because technically they're cooler weather. So I don't know how much progress I'm going to get. Hopefully I can get at least ahead before it gets too hot. Georgia collards, favorite. They're a staple in my garden every year. There's really not much to say else about this. Broccoli desico or Cicio. I cannot pronounce it. If you know, please leave it in the comments. But this says that it can be grown in a 12-inch pot. And I've never seen a broccoli that's 48 days. Like, that's insane. And they said that it's really good with putting on offshoots after you harvest the head. So I like that. Then another one that's supposed to be a compact variety is the Belstar broccoli. And never had success with broccoli. I was either planted it too late and it got hot and it turned into a flower, or either I planted it too early and it just sat there and it didn't do anything. So Broccoli, I am destined to figure that out. Like broccoli, guys, and onions are the two things that I've never really successfully grown. And my favorite thing at a restaurant, broccoli rabe. Now, these seeds are old, so I'm not sure, but I do think that these have sprouted. And the lovely things is that these are actually from a seed company that is from my area. But the one thing that I don't like is this seed company went out of business after COVID. So it sucks. It literally was a seed company that specialized in the seeds that grew well here. If you have a place like that, it is a gem. Shop there. Oh my gosh, guys, I do not want this video to be this long. So the next up, I'm going to speed up a little bit. Chinese string eggplants, self-explanatory. I love the long eggplants. To me, they grow the best, and to me, they have the best flavor, and they're the most versatile in cooking. That's just my opinion. And then I did a long-standing purple eggplant. To me, this reminds me of the Ichiban Japanese eggplant that I grew before years ago, but they're calling it long purple. So who knows? But I do believe both of those varieties are different, the Chinese and this one. And then the Rosita. Started the Rosita too late, guys. The plant got big, healthy, beautiful, started to put on the eggplant. And then no lie, frost came and it killed it. It's because eggplants need a lot of time, guys. So I am very nervous about my Rosita again this year because I was late. Now, in the cucumbers, this is the Bait Alpha. This is a really good cucumber because it does not need pollinators. You can technically grow this indoors. You can grow it in a greenhouse. So I really like this as well. And I don't have a picture of the other one, but I have some Space Masters planted. And I'm also going to be starting maybe some yellow cucumbers. But as you guys know, they grow fast. I just started cucumbers just to get a head start. For my squash, we got the pineapple squash. I grew that last year. It did not do well. I only got one, but it was very tasty. This year, I'm going to try staking a lot of my squash plants to help them get the sun better because as you guys know, I had to downsize. So now I'm working with a balcony versus a complete yard. Galbert English or custard. Now, I've had these seeds for like a year or two, and I've always been scared to grow them because based off this picture, wouldn't you think that it's a big, giant, vining squash that's going to take over your whole entire backyard? But actually, I did some research on this, and believe it or not, this is supposed to be a compact. It says it's supposed to be, well, it doesn't say it on the back of here, but if you go on bakercreek.com or rareseeds.com, you can get way more information. That's where I got the information from. This is actually somewhat of a bush variety of squash, which is insane. I would have grew this a long time ago. So this has a big container written all over it. As well, I'm going to try to grow that. And of course, guys, the time that you guys have been waiting for, the tomatoes and the peppers. So here we go. Love these. Italian Bush Roma. First year really having a good experience with aroma. These are prolific. If you're a person and you only want, a few plants, you don't want to be bothered with a ton of them and you just want a lot of them and you just want all the tomatoes to come in at once and you're done, then this is really good. Now, only thing I will warn you is that this Bush Roma or Italian Roma is always classified as a determinant. Do not let it lie to you. This thing can get 3-4 feet tall. It is not a determinant. I don't care what anybody says. It's really not. It's like a determinant stuck in an indeterminate's body. I can't explain it because it's like it doesn't get too big, but it's nowhere near like a certain size. And I feel like it just kept producing and producing. It was like one of the last ones to produce. So it's weird, but you want a lot of bang for your buck. Definitely grow these. Thornburns terracotta, beautiful, beautiful tomato. I grew it last year. Did not have success with it, but I also believe that it was a soil thing. I had like the transition from the house and all that. They probably were stressed from being in a truck and shaking around and carried upstairs and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm definitely growing these again because look how beautiful that is. And I'm just imagining the beautiful salsa that I can make, like some fire roasted salsa with that. So Thornburns terracotta. Purple bumblebee. Very, very tasty, prolific, and beautiful. And I think they also carry this in an orange and a yellow version as well. That one does very well. Red Pride Bush. Now this, I plan on putting this in my green stock. It's compact. I read online it normally only gets about a foot at the most, maybe 2 feet tall. And a lot of people are saying that the weird thing about this that I've seen on YouTube channels, people saying that a lot of these fruit go in clusters, like at the base of the plant, which is kind of weird. So definitely going to be filling the green stock up with these. Do not put massive tomatoes in your green stock like I did. If you do, you're going to be fighting it tooth and nail, which most likely, if there's something that I can't find a home for, normally I just throw it in the green stock because I don't want it to die. Chocolate pear. These actually can get way darker than this, depending on the amount of sun. They're very flavorful, and they're a very meaty type of cherry tomato. Because a lot of cherry tomatoes are very jelly sometimes. Very meaty tomato. It's very good. Cherokee Purple. Now, this is one of my all-time favorites. It's one of my very first specialty tomato that I grew, and it's very dear to my heart. It's very, very delicious, very in-depth, robust flavor. And that's why the darker tomatoes are normally my favorite, because they're a very, very deep tomato flavor. So I love these. So I'm looking forward to this. This, I'm going to have to find the right spot because Cherokee Purples can get massive. Another one I'm excited about, the Black Creme. I've heard freaking wonderful things. I've seen videos on YouTube of people growing like fruit like the size of your fist or larger. I've seen people say that these are very, very productive, and they can get a beautiful, beautiful smoky color. They almost remind me of like the color of how the Thorn Burns terracotta is almost, but they're definitely a meaty tomato. In 70 days, you can't beat that for a large size. Okay, once again, Berry's Crazy Cherries. Now, one thing I will say about Berry's Crazy Cherries, yes, I've had success growing them, but I've never gotten this. Now, this year, I'm going to go above and beyond to try to get this. I don't get big, giant, massive clusters like that. I'll get clusters, maybe 8, 9 of them, but not nothing with 40 and 50 of them. So I'm definitely not going to blame Baker Creek. I truly believe that it was maybe, again, stress. And one tomato that I have been dying to plant for years, for the past few years, but every time I remember about it, it's always sold out. And that's the Oxheart. Now, and I've heard wonderful things about this Oxheart. They say it's really good in a caprese salad. You could cube it up and do caprese skewers. It's really thick, so you can make a really good thick sauce. You can make a tomato paste from this. I would say this would probably be really good for a pizza sauce. And then they get pretty large, so a little bit goes a long way. So I'm very, very excited about these Oxheart tomatoes. And for the peppers, Hungarian yellow wax, I've found that these normally grow pretty fast. And they're normally one of the first ones to produce, the first one that's going to get picked. But these seeds are old, so I'm not sure if they sprouted yet, because the last time I checked, they did. Purple Beauty. They're beautiful. A lot of people say these peppers don't get big. I've never gotten a big one either, so I'm giving it another try. But Purple Beauty, I love the way that it looks. And just grow larger varieties. Sometimes you grow stuff for the beauty in them. Habanada. I'm going to give this another chance because the habanada, I've learned sometimes, depending on if it's too much rain or something, they can start to taste a little musty, a little funky. So keep that in mind. Don't let your habanadas get too wet. Let them dry out a lot. That's the only pepper that I found to kind of taste funny sometimes. Easy pepper, very, very sweet, very good snacking pepper straight off the vine. Do I need to say anything else? This is one of my favorite peppers of all time, is the Kobachi. And it's also one of my number one sellers, and it's also one of the first to grow, one of the first to be picked. Rainforest chili. Boy, does this take a long time. Now, I was late this year, again, and last year I was a little bit late. But my rainforest chili got really big and bushy. It was beautiful. And once it took all summer, basically, to put on peppers. So I never got any. the plant died and it succumbed. I got tired of going out there and trying to save his life every night. So rainforest chili, but really looking forward to that. Cubanelles, I've heard wonderful things. These are supposedly a very good stuffing pepper, mild flavor, not very spicy. I'm hoping to get successful Cubanelle. I grew them one time before, and I don't know what happened, but my seed starts, they did not survive. They died. So I've never had a large size Cubanelle. Shishito. This is the most anticipated pepper in the garden because there are a billion recipes online for shishitos. If you go to any Asian restaurant, they'll charge you anywhere from $12 to $18 for a tray of grilled shishitos. So I said, if they're that good that they're putting literally just grilled peppers for almost $20 on a menu, let me grow these and see what these are all about. And this is like one of the most beloved peppers I've ever came across. Like, people love that thing. Cult following. Sweet Red Marconi. Grew them last year. Got a few of them. To me, they're very slow growers, so I'm hoping that I will have some better success this year. Cayenne pepper. I love cayenne pepper. I sprinkle it on everything, so I just like to grow them. I already have like a huge mason jar of dehydrated ones. I just can't help myself with the cayenne pepper, okay? Lazia. One of my most favorite peppers that I've ever gotten from Baker Creek. They're very thick walled, they're very sweet. And they also grow very fast. They'll be one of the first to produce. And you can really eat these straight off the vine, like bite into it like an apple. That's how sweet these are. And they're very thick walled, so definitely would be good for stuffing. Tam jalapeno. Why not just have a jalapeno? Like, jalapenos come in handy. So I just plant Tam jalapeno, regular jalapeno, not a big deal. What I really wanted was mammoth jalapenos, the big giant ones that you can grow for jalapeno poppers. But unfortunately, those seeds were sold out. So Tam jalapeno. I'm just going to be using that in salsas and just a little bit extra spice. YOLO Wonder, love this pepper. I love it. They actually get very large. Mine did not get that large, but I was kind of neglecting them because of the move and everything. But I've seen people grow massive ones. So I'm looking to get really good, massive bell peppers because I want to be able to make my own stir-fry blend and have it ready in the freezer or dehydrate it, whichever one. And last but not least, the most anticipated of all, the Golden Jenny melon. And the crazy thing about this is that I heard that this actually grows almost like a bush, so it could be grown in a pot. I'm looking forward to a melon. I've only been successful with the Sugar Baby watermelon, and it was like really 3 times it took me to get it. But guys, these are the seeds that I started, and I don't want the video, it's already too long, guys, so I will be making another video to show you the plant starts. So make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, and I will be back with another video.